In the vast, silent ocean of the cosmos, there are worlds beyond counting. Some are giants of fire, some are frozen spheres wandering in eternal night. But every once in a while, we find something different, something familiar, something that feels like home. Today, astronomers have discovered one of the most intriguing planets ever found. A planet almost the size of Earth. A planet sitting in the habitable zone of its star. A planet so close, cosmically speaking, that if we pointed a spaceship at it today, it would be one of our nearest potential Earth-like neighbors. This is Gliese 12b. And tonight, we're diving into its mysteries, its dangers, and its possibilities. Gliese 12b orbits a star called Gliese 12, located around 40 light-years away in the constellation Pisces. That might sound far, but in galactic terms, it's right next door. The star itself is small, only about 1/4 the size of our Sun, a calm, cool red dwarf. And orbiting extremely close to this star, at a distance far smaller than Mercury's orbit, is this newly discovered world. Gliese 12b completes an entire year in just 12.8 Earth days, meaning if you lived there, you'd celebrate your birthday every 2 weeks. Despite this tight orbit, the planet remains temperate because the star is so dim. Its size? Almost exactly like Earth. Its mass? Likely Earth-like as well. Its composition? Rocky. This is no gas giant, no frozen ice world. This is a world with land, stone, possibly mountains, and possibly water. Every planet has a story, and this one begins with its location. Gliese 12bi sits in a region known as the habitable zone, the distance from a star where temperatures could allow liquid water to exist. Water, the ingredient for all life as we know it. If Gliese 12bi has an atmosphere, even a thin one, temperatures might be mild enough for oceans or lakes to form, but that's the key. Does it have an atmosphere? So far, we don't know. Without an atmosphere, the planet would be scorching during the day, freezing during the night. An empty rock floating through space. But if it has one, even a thin blanket of air could regulate its temperature and make it potentially habitable. This is why scientists are so interested. We've found many exoplanets before, but very few Earth-sized worlds near the habitable zone that are close enough to study in detail. Gliese 12b is one of the best chances humanity has ever had to examine a world that might resemble our own. Most red dwarf stars are violent. They erupt with solar flares, powerful enough to strip a planet's atmosphere in a cosmic instant. But Gliese 12 is different. It is quiet, unusually calm, almost peaceful. This is incredibly important. A calm star means Gliese 12b may have been able to hold on to its atmosphere for billions of years, and billions of years is enough time for life to take hold, evolve, and adapt. Think of Earth. Life began early and slowly. If Gliese 12b has had similar conditions and stability, who knows what could exist there now? This calm environment is one reason scientists believe Gliese 12b is a prime candidate in the search for life. But for all its promise, Gliese 12b comes with mysteries. We don't know its atmosphere. We don't know its chemistry. We don't know its surface temperature. We don't know if it's locked in a perpetual day and night cycle, showing one face to its star forever. And we certainly don't know if life exists there. It could be a paradise or a sterile, toxic wasteland. It could be Earth-like or Venus-like, burning hot under a runaway greenhouse effect. This uncertainty is what fuels the scientific chase, because every answer we uncover leads to another question. The world's most powerful space telescope, the James Webb Space Telescope, is now preparing to study Gliese 12b in detail. Here's how it works. When Gliese 12b passes in front of its star, starlight filters through the planet's atmosphere. Different gases absorb different colors of light, creating a chemical fingerprint. By studying this light, scientists can determine whether the planet has carbon dioxide, methane water, vapor, oxygen, or no atmosphere at all. This technique is called transmission spectroscopy, and it is one of the greatest breakthroughs in the history of astronomy. For the first time in human history, We have the tools to examine the air on another world, light years away. Imagine that. Now let's explore the big question, the one everyone wants to know. Could Gliese 12b support life? Let's be clear. If life exists there, it might not look anything like us. Maybe it's microbial, like Earth's earliest life forms. Maybe it's underwater. Maybe it's adapted to the red glow of its star. Maybe it thrives in the eternal day or eternal night, depending on the planet's rotation. Or perhaps, far below the rocky crust, a hidden ocean exists, warmed by tidal forces, a world similar to Europa or Enceladus. Life in the universe doesn't have to be complex to be significant. Even the discovery of fossilized bacteria would change everything. Religion, science, philosophy, our understanding of the cosmos, our place in the universe. Gliese 12b represents one of our best chances to answer a question humanity has asked for thousands of years. Are we alone? The discovery of Gliese 12b isn't just another scientific headline. It changes the way we think about the universe. Finding an Earth-sized planet so close tells us something profound. Earth might be common. Habitability might be common. Life might be common. Every planet we discover rewrites our story. And Gliese 12b might be one of the most important chapters yet. It reminds us that the universe is not empty. It is alive with possibilities. As scientists prepare to observe Gliese 12b, we stand on the edge of a new era, a moment when humanity might finally answer one of its greatest questions. Does life exist somewhere else? Gliese 12b is not just a planet. It is a mirror held up to our own world. A reminder that Earth is not unique, that the universe is full of worlds waiting to be discovered, studied, and understood. So as we look toward this small red star 40 light years away, we are not just searching for life, we are searching for ourselves. Just weeks after the world celebrated the discovery of Gliese 12b, something unexpected happened. Astronomers analyzing the first light curves noticed a faint, repeating pattern, a signature that shouldn't exist. At first, they thought it was noise, a glitch, a calibration error. But the pattern returned again and again and again. It wasn't random. It wasn't an artifact. It was something real. And it was coming from the planet. A slight dimming, a subtle shape in the starlight. Something passing in front of the planet itself. What could it be? A moon? A dust ring? Cloud formations? Or something more unusual? The scientific world was officially on alert. The second shadow was smaller than the planet, far smaller. It moved at a different angle, a different rhythm, as if orbiting Gliese 12b itself. If it was a moon, it would be one of the smallest ever discovered. But here's the strange part. Its orbit didn't match the natural motion expected from gravitational calculations. It was slightly irregular, as if the object was adjusting its course, or being influenced by something we couldn't see. One scientist remarked anonymously, "It's almost as if the object is maneuvering." The comment was quickly deleted, but the speculation had already begun. Was it a moon, a cluster of dust, a ring fragment, or something artificial? The world held its breath. When the story leaked that NASA and ESA were tracking anomalous activity around Gliese 12b, the reaction was overwhelming. News channels filled with speculation. Scientists demanded clarity. Conspiracy theories exploded online. Some imagined Dyson spheres. Others imagined alien probes. Others believed it was simply a moon, blown out of proportion. But the truth was simple. No one knew what the object was. For the first time in years, the world shared the same question. Are we witnessing natural cosmic beauty or a sign of intelligence? The James Webb Telescope was retargeted. Ground telescopes refocused, and humanity watched the heavens with a new kind of anticipation. Then, the breakthrough. James Webb completed its first atmospheric analysis of Gliese 12b. The results were astonishing. The planet did have an atmosphere, thin but present, traces of carbon dioxide, hints of water vapor, no sign of toxic levels of methane or sulfur compounds. In other words, the conditions were potentially stable, potentially mild, potentially habitable. But that wasn't the shocking part. What shocked the scientific community was a tiny, sharp absorption line in the data, far too precise to be caused by clouds or natural gases. It appeared artificial, almost like a signal, a chemical marker that didn't belong. Scientists are cautious. They avoid sensational claims. They refuse to jump to conclusions. But privately, some researchers began whispering a possibility no one dared mention in public. What if the second shadow isn't a moon, but a craft? Not a spaceship in the Hollywood sense. No glowing lights, no metal panels. More like an automated probe, a drone, a silent watcher orbiting a potentially habitable world. Something that could be ancient, abandoned, or still active. And if so, who built it and why? With each passing day, more data arrives. Each piece more mysterious than the last. The atmosphere is real. The temperature may be suitable. The second shadow remains unexplained. And the unusual chemical marker persists. Humanity now stands at a threshold. Do we send a probe? Do we remain observers? Do we prepare for the unknown? A new mission proposal, Project Gliese, is already being discussed. A long-term robotic journey, a generational spacecraft, a direct exploration. Humanity is beginning to dream bigger. Gliese 12b began as a simple discovery, a rocky planet in the habitable zone of a quiet star. But now it represents something more, a mystery, a possibility, a reminder that the universe holds secrets we are only beginning to uncover. The story of Gliese 12b is far from over. In fact, it has just begun. And as we continue exploring the stars, we may soon learn that we were never truly alone. Up until this moment, Gliese 12b was just a hopeful mystery, a rocky world, a calm red star, a place where water might exist. But one evening, as the James Webb Space Telescope recorded new data, something unusual appeared. A fluctuation in the planet's atmospheric signature. Tiny, repeating distortions. Almost like a pattern. Almost like a message. Scientists double-checked the data. It wasn't an error. It wasn't a glitch. The light coming from Gliese 12b was carrying an organized structure. Something that looked like encoded information hidden in the atmosphere's reflection. And the world of astronomy held its breath. At first, no one dared say it out loud. Dr. Lynn Vargas, one of the lead exoplanet researchers, whispered the question everyone feared. What if this planet isn't just habitable? What if something there is communicating? The room went silent. Not because they believed it, but because they couldn't rule it out. However, there were scientific possibilities. Chemical reactions, atmospheric storms, magnetic interference, volcanic cycles. Yet none of these explanations truly match the repeating, pulse-like structure in the data. Nothing in nature is that precise. Nothing in nature repeats with mathematical symmetry, unless something intelligent created it. While decoding attempts began, another discovery shocked the team. Gliese 12b was cooling, rapidly. Over the span of just weeks, the planet's thermal readings dropped by nearly 12 degrees. To you and me, that might not sound like much. But for a planet orbiting a calm red dwarf, where temperatures remain stable for millions of years, this was impossible, unless something was altering the atmosphere, or controlling it. As the data came in, one thing became clear: the atmosphere wasn't just cooling, it was stabilizing, as if being regulated. Earth had never seen anything like it. Then came the moment that shifted everything. James Webb detected a tiny sharp dip in the starlight. The kind of dip caused when something solid passes in front of a star. But this object was too small to be a moon, too uniform to be a rock, and too smooth to be natural. A structure? A satellite? A probe? No one could confirm it, but the shape, the symmetry, the perfect orbital path, it looked manufactured. And suddenly, scientists began asking a terrifying question. Are we observing a planet or a controlled environment? Weeks passed. Supercomputers worked nonstop. AI models were fed every known pattern: mathematical, biological, linguistic. Then, At 3:29 a.m. GMT, one of the decoding algorithms flagged something. Not a word, not a sentence, not an alien language, but a signature, a repeating identifier, something like a cosmic fingerprint. The same signature appeared 8 times in different atmospheric readings, 8 identical stamps, 8 markers of intention, 8 signs of intelligence. This wasn't random. This wasn't natural. This wasn't accidental. Something on Gliese 12b wanted to be noticed. Despite NASA's attempts to contain the information, the story leaked. Within hours, the world was awake. News outlets exploded. Alien signal detected. New planet may be inhabited. Earth receives message from 40 light years away. Millions celebrated. Millions panicked. Governments demanded answers. Scientists urged patience. Humanity felt more connected and more terrified than ever before. Because if there was intelligence on Gliese 12, but we weren't just looking at another world. We were staring at another civilization. As the dust settled, one thing was certain. This discovery was bigger than any of us. Bigger than science. Bigger than fear. Bigger than Earth. We were no longer alone in the universe, or at least no longer certain that we ever were. And just when scientists thought they had seen everything, a new data transmission arrived. Shorter, sharper, more structured, almost like a response. The world was still processing the cosmic handshake, the simple symbol that whispered across 40 light years, "We see you." But before scientists could even prepare a reply, another transmission arrived. Longer, louder, impossible. The data was so dense that some systems overloaded. Servers crashed. Satellite channels froze. This wasn't a message. It was a download. Something or someone on Gliese 12b had just opened a channel, and Earth was now receiving more information than ever detected in human history. At first, everyone thought it was language, a stream of alien symbols. But when analysts slowed down the transmission, they realized something terrifying. It wasn't communication. It was imagery, visual data, memories encoded in light. The first decoded frame appeared on screen, a panoramic view of a world glowing with oceans, forests, and towering crystalline structures that stretched into the sky like frozen lightning. The scientists gasped. It wasn't Earth. It wasn't any world we knew. It was Gliese 12, millions of years ago. Alive, vibrant, civilized. Frame by frame, the story of Gliese 12b unfolded like an ancient documentary. The inhabitants, never fully shown, appeared as silhouettes of tall, elegant forms, glowing faintly with bioluminescent patterns. Their technology was beyond anything Earth had imagined. Cities fueled by stellar energy, structures grown organically like living architecture, a planetary shield shimmering in the upper atmosphere, starships powered by light itself. They were not primitive. They were not struggling. They were advanced, far beyond humanity. But then, the memories took a sudden turn. One of the decoded sequences showed the sky darkening, not slowly like a sunset, but violently, rapidly. An enormous cosmic shadow swept across the planet. Stars vanished. The red sun flickered. Then came seismic waves, ocean storms, atmospheric collapse. Scientists struggled to explain it. Some believed it was a rogue molecular cloud, a collapsing star nearby, a catastrophic magnetic shift, a cosmic radiation burst, but the later frames proved otherwise, because the next sequence showed something impossible. The Gliese civilization responded with precision. Gigantic machines launched into space, assembling an enormous orbital network, a technological shield, powerful enough to protect the planet from cosmic disaster. But as the shield activated, the memory cut off. The next image was a dark, silent world, a dead planet, a cold atmosphere, an empty orbit. The civilization was gone, but their machines remained, still functioning, still watching, still searching for someone to receive their message. When analysts pieced together the final frames, everyone in the room froze. The memory contained a pattern, a prediction, a cosmic threat moving across the galaxy on a slow but unstoppable path. A wave of interstellar radiation? A rogue dark matter current? A star-forming shockwave? No one knew, but the last frame, the last encoded diagram, showed two star systems, Gliese 12 and ours, and the dark wave, moving toward both. The room fell silent. The message wasn't just history, it wasn't just a greeting, it was a warning. For the first time in human history, the universe had answered back. And its answer wasn't simple. It was a story of rise and fall, a memory of extinction, and a warning of what may come. But one part of the transmission remained unclear. A final encrypted symbol that repeated endlessly. Scientists believe it is a question, a request, a call for cooperation, or possibly an invitation to survive together. Humanity now stands at a crossroads. Do we reply? Do we ignore it? Do we prepare? Or do we dare to ask, what if the same cosmic disaster that destroyed them is on its way to us? For the first time in human history, leaders from every major nation sat in the same room, not to talk about borders, conflicts, or politics, but about another world. On the screens before them, the dying memories of Gliese 12b, the mysterious warning, the dark cosmic wave moving slowly through space. The question echoed across the planet. Do we answer the message? Some argued it was too dangerous. Others believed it was humanity's only hope. But no one, not a single person, could deny the truth. The message wasn't a threat, it was a plea left by a civilization that died trying to survive something far greater than themselves. The room erupted into arguments. The scientists wanted to reply immediately. They believed communication could unlock secrets, technology, knowledge, warnings, defense systems. The military feared a trap. What if they're luring us, one general said, to finish what they started 1,000,000 years ago? But then Dr. Elena Suarez, the world's leading exoplanet analyst, said the words that silenced everyone. They didn't send us a weapon. They sent us their death, their history, their fall. If they wanted to harm us, they wouldn't have shown us how they died. Her voice shook. The room fell quiet. After hours of debate, after centuries of dreaming, Earth finally made its decision. Humanity would respond. The message was simple, short enough to avoid misunderstanding, universal enough to be understood by any intelligence. It contained prime numbers, Earth's atmospheric signature, our star system's coordinates, a non-hostile greeting encoded in mathematics. It was not a declaration, not a challenge, not a cry for help, just a single phrase encoded in cosmic language. We understand your warning. We are listening. The signal was transmitted, 3 bursts of radio light, mirroring the Gliese pattern, sent toward a world that may no longer exist. And then, humanity waited. It should take decades. 40 years for our signal to reach Gliese 12b, and another 40 for any reply. But the universe had other plans. Minutes after Earth's transmission, detectors around the world lit up. A pulse, not from Gliese 12b, but from somewhere else, somewhere closer, somewhere unknown. The signal was stronger, sharper, more advanced than anything Earth had ever detected. Scientists stared in horror. This meant only one thing. We were not just communicating with Gliese 12b. Something else had been listening. Something far older, far more advanced, and far closer to Earth than anyone expected. At the exact moment Earth received the new pulse, something else happened. The artificial structure orbiting Gliese 12b, the silent sentinel left behind, activated. Its energy output multiplied tenfold. Beams of light stretched across interstellar space, pointing not at Earth, but toward a distant region of the galaxy. A direction scientists had not expected. A region filled with dark, cold clouds, where stars barely shine. A place astronomers have long called the Silent Zone. Something was there, something the ancients of Gliese 12b feared, something they tried to warn us about. The beacon wasn't just calling us, it was alerting someone else. When AI finally decoded the new incoming signal, scientists felt their hearts freeze. It wasn't a message, It wasn't a greeting, it was a scan. A detailed, high-resolution scan of Earth's atmosphere, biosphere, and technological output. Someone or something was taking an inventory of our planet. And the final part of the scan, the part that left the world silent, showed a comparison chart. Earth's condition, side by side with the dying state of Gliese, 12b, right before the ancient civilization was wiped out. The match was disturbingly close. Too close. Humanity stared at the data in disbelief. The dark cosmic wave that destroyed Gliese 12b, the one shown in the memories, the one the ancients tried to warn us about. It wasn't a random event. It wasn't a natural disaster. It was targeted, directed, intelligent. And now the same force was scanning Earth. The message was no longer a mystery. It was no longer a warning. It was a countdown. The universe had just revealed the truth. What destroyed Gliese 12b is coming for us. The world held its breath as the unknown signal continued pulsing. It wasn't coming from Gliese 12b. It wasn't coming from a star system. It was coming from the emptiness. The silent zone. A place where no natural light escapes. A place astronomers believed was dead. Until now. Then unexpectedly, the signal changed. It became rhythmic, structured, intentional. A message began forming, decoded slowly by Earth's fastest quantum AI. The translation appeared on the screen. "We are the ones who watch." The room fell silent. This wasn't the Gliese civilization. This was something else, something even they feared. And it was watching us. The AI decoded more. The dark wave that destroyed Gliese 12b, the one Earth assumed was a cosmic phenomenon, was not natural. It was a cleansing force, a sweeping, engineered wave designed to sterilize entire star systems, not to conquer, not to communicate, but to reset. The final decoded phrase shook the world. Civilizations that exceed balance will be returned to silence. Earth was never supposed to hear this. The memories from Gliese 12b took on new meaning. Their shield, their orbital sentinel, their panicked construction. They weren't fighting a natural disaster. They were fighting a judgment, a reset triggered by something older, stronger, and watching silently across the galaxy. The ancients tried to survive. They tried to build. They tried desperately to communicate. Their final beacon, the machine still orbiting the dead world, was not just a transmitter. It was a warning buoy, a caution sign left behind for whoever evolved next, for us. Humanity watched as new data streamed across the screen. The dark wave was slow, but it was precise, directional, intentional. And its path had shifted. It was now moving toward Earth. Based on calculations, it would reach our solar system in several thousand years. A long time for humans, but nothing for a cosmic intelligence. The message became clearer. Earth was under evaluation. Our signal, our reply, had awakened something that monitors civilizations. And now the watchers were analyzing us. As chaos and fear began to spread, another alert appeared. A second message, not from the watchers, but from the ancient Gliese beacon itself. It activated in response to Earth's danger. The final frame was decoded. 2 circles, one bright, one dim, connected. The same symbol as before, but now with a new sequence beneath it. A sequence that scientists recognized immediately. Engineering blueprints, massive ones. The Gliese ancients had left behind the plans for their greatest creation, the thing that nearly saved them, a planetary shield capable of bending cosmic radiation and redirecting the dark wave. Humanity stared at the impossible designs. The technology was far beyond us, but not unreachable. This wasn't a farewell message from the ancients. It was a gift, a lifeline, a final chance. Humanity now faced its greatest decision. Do we ignore the warning? Do we continue as we are? Or do we unite, for the first time in our history, to build a defense against a cosmic threat? The ancient civilization of Gliese 12b died alone, but they chose to help us survive. Their message was not fear, not doom. It was hope, a chance to finish what they started, a chance to prove that life, no matter where it emerges, is worth protecting. Earth finally understood. We are not alone. We are not the first. And we do not have to be the next to fall. Humanity broadcast one final message, not in panic, not in fear, but in unity. Encoded in mathematics and light, the transmission said, "We choose to survive, we choose to learn, we choose peace." The Gliese beacon pulsed once more, softly, as if acknowledging Earth's answer. Then the silent zone fell dark again. No more pulses, no more signals, just the quiet hum of the universe. Humanity didn't know if the watchers were gone or simply observing, waiting, judging. But one truth became clear. Our future is no longer just ours. It is shared with the echoes of a world that came before us and the guardians who watch all worlds. The final words echo. The universe is vast. Civilizations rise and fall. But every message, every memory leaves a light behind. And now, it is Earth's turn.